soy Dora.
Do you want to party? Of course you want to party. It's time to party with Linda Gold today. She's got bad makeup, but we love her anyway. We tried to kill her off, but she comes back every day.
Hello Europe, it's Linda Gold here and welcome to EuroDrag TV.
And I am Dyslexia.
Each and every week you leave your comments, you inbox us, you tell us exactly what you want to see on EuroDrag TV. Well bitches, you told us and we delivered. Here's what's coming up over the next few weeks. That's all in the future. Let's find out who we've got on today's episode.
Linda, what was that?
I think it was a fucking parrot.
Maybe it's Chanel. She must have escaped again. She all lives up the road in Netherton.
I'm gonna call the owner. I've got my phone and my tits here. Hang on. Hello? Hello? Is that Chanel's owner?
Chanel! Her name's Chanel.
Oh my god.
Oh, please.
Get it up, please. I got Linda in my fucking hair.
Yeah. Will everybody just calm down? Chanel's just fucked off with Dyslexia's wig.
I'm so sorry, Kat. Please.
Wait, she comes back. Please send the wig back to us. There's £150 wig, girl. We'll be back right after this commercial break.
All of our dreams coming true. Just imagine everything that we're gonna do.
Can you stop reading when I'm talking to you? You always do that. Why don't we come in July when normal...
In an ideal world, you could roll up your spouse. In the real world, you'll just have to wind down yourself. For the next stop.
Our first guest today is an absolute LGBT legend. He was involved in the very first ever gay kiss on a British soap opera. But now he's in the House of Lords. It's Lord Michael Cashman.
Why not? Usual, please. 2 minutes. Right. Good night.
Then we're going to whisk you all the way to Hollywood to meet one of the handful of people who was involved in one of the most iconic TV shows of all time, Sex and the City. It's Mario Cantone.
Really good.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
You were here. What a small world.
That's Chelsea for you. Can't swing a dick without running into someone you know.
And our third guest has been on 2 seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 9 and Season 10. It's Eureka O'Hara.
Oh my god, big bitch, slaying the game. Sitting by the bitch, half my fame. Crybaby, you jelly fool. Peanut butter haters out.
The best fucking news of the year. I've finally persuaded Dyslexia to get rid of that bag of shite. No, not me. Hot or not, and hit and miss. So boys and girls, a big fanfare for my new game. It's
And Europe's shadiest
Everybody knows from here to your bank not sinking.
Hey, don't forget the lockdown videos, because today we've got a very special guest.
Who is that?
All the way from the Amazon rainforest. Ooh. It's Dora the Explorer.
Hola, soy Dora.
But But before all that, it's time to get on with our brand new premiere. It's our new game. It's
The heat is on, the time is right. It's time for you to play your game. 'Cause people are coming, everyone's trying to be the best that they can when they're going for gold.
Okay, Linda, so do you know how to play Going for Gold?
do a fucking you told me we were playing it 5 minutes ago.
Well, it's actually really easy. So we asked 16 drag artists from across Europe whether or not they would eat dog poop to get on RuPaul's Drag Race. Now you have to guess how many said yes.
Oh God, I reckon all these arse-licking bitches would do anything to get on RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm gonna say 16. Did you say?
Yes.
I'm gonna say at least 14.
Okay, let's see.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
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 Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
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 No way, I'm not having that.
Linda, you are way too out. Only 5 out of 16 have actually said yes.
The fucking liars.
You did not win gold this time. Now let's take a closer look as to why some have said yes and some have said no.
Yes, but only if the poop comes from a vegetarian.
Nutshell, you lying little bitch. You'd well eat dog shit to get on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Coco, why did you say no?
I have a vagina, so I'm pretty sure RuPaul wouldn't want me anyway.
Well, EuroDrag loves vaginas. Welcome back to EuroDrag TV. Now it's time to introduce our first guest.
Cast your mind back to 1984.
But was it even born back then?
Well, that's right, you're just a ball of spunk in your dad's bollocks. Okay, for all the old fuckers who remember this, the millenniums, just take my word for it. You're sitting on your sofa in 1989 and you hear this piece of music. 2 men kiss on TV.
Hello Linda, hello Dis Alexia. It's great to be with you.
Jenny Chibawa, curtsy.
Oh my god, hello,
Hello,
Michael. How
Your
are
Royal
you?
Highness. Tell us, how on earth did a lord end up in EastEnders?
Well, my career didn't start with EastEnders. Some might argue that it finished. I was discovered at the age of 11 impersonating Eartha Kitt. I was doing drag at 11 years old. And I ended up in Oliver in the West End, and that catapulted me into another world.
So was Dyslexia. She's been doing drag since she was 11. She's almost celebrating 3 years of being a drag queen now.
I don't even start with the age jokes.
Lord Michael, tell us about EastEnders.
Oh, EastEnders happened when I was about 35 years old. I was with my partner, Paul Cottingham, who I was with for 31 years until he sadly died 5 years ago from an aggressive cancer. But when I was offered the part, I asked him and my parents whether I should do it. It was a gay character.
In these days, it's nothing on TV, but when we were around in the 80s, that must have been absolutely terrifying. I could never have done that scene.
The reaction when I went on the screen was incredible. There were questions in Parliament as to why they put a gay character in a show. There were calls for the show to be taken off air, but we and the BBC stuck at it.
We read that you received a lot of hate mail.
Oh, hate mail. There was hate mail, but I have some wonderful fan mail. But the reaction from the tabloids was terrible. My entry into the show was announced as EastBenders. And when we did the first gay kiss on British television, which I was very proud of, again, the politicians blew a gasket. They all went mad, as did the tabloids. And they printed our address in the newspaper. And that day a brick came through the window. We stuck at it, the BBC stuck at it. And it was a very proud time.
Thank God you stuck at that, because obviously society has changed for the better now.
How did you get from soap opera to politics?
Well, through being in EastEnders, and the Conservative government then, led by Mrs Thatcher, introduced the first anti-lesbian, gay and bisexual law.
Children who need to be taught to respect traditional moral values are being taught that they have an inalienable right to be gay. All of those children are being cheated of a sound start in life. Yes, cheated.
And I knew, being in that show and being out, that I had to be on the march against this terrible law and be at the forefront of that campaign along with Sir Ian McKellen, fighting this terrible thing called Section 28. And we fought it, but we lost the battle. It became law.
Which brings us to one of the most famous words associated with the LGBT community, Stonewall. Just how did you get involved with that?
We set up an organisation to campaign for equality and social justice. The name of the organisation, Stonewall, named after the Stonewall riots in New York.
Like, a lot of people don't even know what Stonewall is.
Stonewall is about fighting for legal equality and social justice for lesbians and gay men and bisexuals.
Does this also involve the trans community?
It only recently, 5 years ago, took on trans issues. And I stand absolutely with my trans sisters and my trans brothers. If they're not equal, I'm not equal.
Then you ended up in the European Houses of Parliament. Why the change of tactics and how did you continue your fight?
It's achieved a great deal in the United Kingdom. And it led me from that to going into the European Parliament, where I was proud to work on issues around the European Union.
You get that, but exactly what issues? How did you continue to fight for our rights?
What issues? Oh, issues such as equality, extremely important. That if you're coming into the EU, then you've got to treat people equally, non-discrimination. There's still a long way to go, and doing it in the rest of the world.
It was a big career change going into the House of Lords.
How did that affect your life?
The Labour Party asked me to be the global envoy on LGBT issues, and that is why I went into the House of Lords.
A lot of our drag viewers are Labour supporters, and they are going to have a burning question here. A lot of the tabloids reported that you defected to the Liberals.
Oh, no, I didn't join the Liberal Party. What happened was I resigned from Labour over the issue of the European Union, on the most important issue facing this country, the United Kingdom, since the Second World War. So I decided that I would announce that I would be voting Liberal in the European elections, but I remain with my Labour principles. And hey, you've got to do what you believe to be right.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Before I do anything, let me congratulate the UK winners, Sissy Kiko and Black Pepper. Go girls, go!
Michael, before you go, we need to ask you one very important question. If you ever became Prime Minister, what's the first thing you'd do?
Party, party, party. Party, party, party. Go girls! Party, party, party.
It's time for the lockdown videos with
Dora
the Explorer.
Dora, Dora. She can do anything because she is a grown-up. Dora, 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 the grown-up. Dora the grown-up. She is 24 years old now. Dora the grown-up.
Hola, soy Dora. I'm on a trip with mi amigas for a despedida de soltera, a bachelorette party. Have you ever been single and jealous of your friends for finding love? Me too! Mi amigas and I are at un table, a strip club. Stripping seems like an easy way to make money. Have you ever considered becoming a stripper? Me too!
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Uh-oh. My friend wants me to try cocaína. Cocaine. I don't have anything to snort it with. We did it!
Do you want to do some blow, man? Come on, let's snort some yay. Let's start with just a line or four, and then some more, till we can't feel our face. We used to be co-buddies, and now we're not. I wish you would sniff some white. Do you want to do some blow, man? I just did like a holy ball. You know I also bought some acid too.
We did it!
We did it!
We did it! Yay! La Wasimos, we did it! We smoked too much weed and got real tired, then did cocaine and got less tired. Yay!
Woo!
Hooray! We did it! Adios! Goodbye!
It's now time for guest number 2.
Now I am going to publicly shame dyslexia. Because this millennium has never heard of Sex and the City.
Guys, I legit thought it was a porno when I first heard about it.
No, Sex and the
I
City.
mean, you can see why though.
You're thinking about Sex and the Shitty?
We obviously don't watch the same kind of porn, Linda.
I'm going to challenge the entire planet Earth here because I don't believe anybody, except for you, has ever not heard of Sex and the City. Write in the comments on YouTube, because if you haven't, I'm tempted to give them a prize.
What's the prize?
We all know what the people want. All the way from Hollywood, the most famous wedding planner of all time.
Oh my Why would Liza say yes to this? It's a law of physics. Anytime there's this much gay energy in one room, Liza manifests.
Now, the brooms have written their own brooms.
Bride, groom, broom.
Oh, broom! Oh, that's marvelous.
It was not exactly love at first sight.
Hello, Linda. Hello, Dysalexa. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for joining us, Mario. Now, we all know you from the iconic TV show Sex and the City. I think I mentioned it once or twice. But, you know, you and I are close to the same age. I say close, by the way. I'm younger, of course. What was it like being a stand-up comedian on the circus of Hollywood? Back in the 80s, as a gay man, I find that incomprehensible.
Coming up gay in show business was not easy. I started doing stand-up in mainstream comedy rooms, not even like gay cabaret rooms in the 80s. So it was scary, but I just forged through, riddled with fear, but I did it. They would tell you, especially in Los Angeles, don't tell anybody you're gay. It was like being a leper.
It must have been so difficult. Did it get any better since the 80s?
It was very difficult. So to get to where I got to, which was basically crawling my way to the middle and staying there, was pretty amazing that I did it. It was not easy being gay in show business. It's gotten a little better, and people probably think it's gotten a lot better, but it's gotten a little better.
If life was so tough, how on earth did you actually land a role in one of the biggest movies and TV shows of all time? What was the audition process?
I actually didn't audition for Sex and the City. The role was written for me by Michael Patrick King, who I started doing stand-up with years ago at the Improv in New York City. Made me very international, which is why I'm crossing the pond right now to speak to you.
Well, we're just glad you got the part. The big question now is, will there be a third movie?
No, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And I wish it would, because I had a very big storyline in it, along with Willie Garson, who played Stanford. We had a really big storyline. But it's never going to happen, so it kind of sucks.
I may have never watched Sex and the City, but I definitely know you from AJ and the Queen.
AJ and the Queen was fun to do. It was a lot, because dressing, the makeup, and the chest plate, I took it off. There were welts and blisters all over me. I don't know how drag queens do it. It's a lot of work. I don't even like bringing a prop on stage. So you can imagine.
In your face, bitch!
What was RuPaul like to work with?
RuPaul was really wonderful, and that was also written and directed by Michael Patrick King, which is the reason why he called me to do it.
Mario, it was absolutely hilarious seeing you as a drag queen. On the subject of drag queens, now 1 or 2 drag queens watch this show, I'll have you know. Who would you say is the best top 5 drag queens of all time?
I go way back, so you're gonna have to look them up.
So does Linda.
Linda, go! Linda, can we get a comment? I am Greta Garbo. Now leave me. I want to be alone. Okay.
Craig Russell, brilliant female impersonator. Charles Pierce, who was a predecessor to Craig Russell, another great impersonator. Miss Coco Peru, brilliantly funny. RuPaul, of course. And who else? And Jim Bailey, who was another great one from the 60s and 70s. So you gotta look them up, kids, because I'm not explaining it.
So tell us, what's coming up in the future?
I'll be doing the Cafe Carlisle next year.
If you're staying here, you feel like you've made it.
I will be doing a special on Netflix called Out Stand Up that's produced by Wilson Cruz and Wanda Sykes, and speaking about being gay in the stand-up world. That's what's coming up for me.
Mario, it's been awesome having you on the show. A real Hollywood legend. Thank you so much for joining us on EuroDrag TV.
Thank you, Linda.
I promise to watch every single episode of Sex and the City.
Thank you, Alexia. All the best.
Wasn't it nice to have Mario on the show?
Yeah, it was so fun.
I love Sex and the City.
Oh, I love sex everywhere.
Are you really going to watch every single episode of Sex and the City? You know there's about 400 episodes. It's like 2 movies. It's been on for about 10 years.
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, some of us still have a few years ahead of us.
Crystal McVeigh wasn't having a dream. She had died and says she woke up in heaven.
And it was this guy that had run from my whole life.
She was in heaven.
You're a fucking cunt, you are.
Talking about cunts is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's Europe's shadiest.
You are a cunt, 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 cunt. But if that's stinking cunt, say it ain't true, but let me tell you, you're a motherfucking cunt, cunt. Everybody knows from here to tell you're a big stinking cunt.
Linda, why are you wearing a blue dress? I told you not to wear anything blue or green.
It's my Europe dress, isn't it? For Europe's shadiest cunts.
You need to change.
We've no time, come on, just get on with it.
Do you know how to play this?
Yeah, of course I do.
Linda, you're lying. You don't know the rules.
I do. We've asked 16 drag queens from across countries all over Europe one question, and we're going to find out exactly which one is the shadiest.
That's quite right.
I'm
I'm proud of you.
I was quite close, wasn't I?
Question number 1. Would you rather sleep with Linda or dyslexia? In order to find out, we're gonna randomly select 3 cunts using our magical spinner. Press one of the buttons.
Oh, which one shall I press? Tiny Mo.
That is Bailey Bubbles from England.
Have to be dyslexia. Well, fucking Lynn Gold would be bestiality, and I'm not into that shit.
Which one shall I press? Tiny Mo. It's Vanity No More from Scotland.
Linda Gold, she's head bitch. Plus, this fat ass would probably crush dyslexia.
Press one of the buttons. That's Auntie Effie, also from Scotland.
Dyslexia. I can't be arsed with, I'm coming. At least I've managed to drone out dyslexia's, oh my god.
So there's your answers. It's 2 versus 1.
Yeah. Well, it's not really 2 versus 1, is it? Because one of them was Vanity No More. She only picked me because she knows she's so fucking fat that if she shagged you, she'd squash you. So I've got to pick someone to be Europe's shadiest cunt.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you who I'm going for. The one that called me a beast, a cheeky bitch. This week's Europe's shadiest cunt is Bailey Bubbles.
England, you have 1 point.
Come on, other countries, you've got to catch up now, because next week we'll be asking a new question, and that's going to be, would you sooner send, by accident, your nudes to your boss or your dad?
You are a cunt, a big fat stinking cunt. Say it ain't true, but he'll tell you you're a motherfucking cunt. Everybody knows from here to there you're a big fat stinking cunt.
It's almost the end of the episode! But we cannot go without giving you a big finale!
I love a big finale, I do.
I love anything that's big.
That's funny. Tell another one.
Please welcome, all the way from season 9 and 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race, it's the self-proclaimed Elephant Queen. It's Eureka O'Hara.
Oh, like a phoenix from the ashes, Eureka is back. We found it.
Watch me smile and watch me slay, 'cause I'm living for my true self every day. It's not about your color, gender, or size, but if we come together, we can rise. I came from nothing, made me want to scream, but I fought for my piece of the American dream. You can be a stripe and get in line, or be a star and not be defined.
Hi EuroDrag TV, it's Eureka here. And hello Linda, hi Dyslexia, and hi Europe! It's so good to see all of you.
Hi Eureka and welcome to the show. Drag Race has attracted a lot of new viewers since it came to the UK. So for anybody who's just started watching it, tell us a bit about yourself and how you're involved with RuPaul's Drag Race.
In case you all weren't aware, I'm Eureka O'Hara all the way from RuPaul's Drag Race, season 9 and 10. I'm also going to be in the upcoming series We're Here on HBO. Super excited.
Drag is about empowerment.
We travel across this country to take people from who they are to what they can be. Thank God I brought these.
We're actually taking some locals, turning them into fierce drag queens.
Shangela, the drag queen, and Eureka. We came and we brought drag.
Now you're one of just a handful of queens who's appeared on 2 seasons of Drag Race and back-to-back.
Oh, come on, give it up for the big girl, serving pure catfish.
Oh, like a phoenix from the ashes, Eureka is back.
Was it easier going back with all the newbies, or was it easier the first time around when no one knew each other?
I think personally season 9 will always have like a special place in my heart because it was like my first experience, you know, with these fellow girls. But season 10 was easier and harder at the same time. It was a little different just because obviously you're held to a certain expectation because you're the returning girl, which makes it a little harder. But also you've been here, so some of those early nerves that the girls have in the first couple episodes may not be there for you. But obviously if you watch season 10, you'll see my nerves were in full force. So I'm not sure exactly like what type of head start or leeway that I got because my season 9 was so short termed. But you know what, I did my best shot and I ended up doing really well in season 10 and I feel blessed, you know, regardless. I'm just excited that I was able to be a part of it and to do it again because you know Mama's knee was fucked up.
I'm telling you, this show is a real magnet for season 9. Last week we had Peppermint, and the next week we've got Alexis Michelle.
Would you ever go back on Drag Race for the 3rd time? Like, give us the gossip. Have you been asked to do All Stars yet?
I think I would love to do All Stars one day whenever I feel ready. You know, I didn't want to do an early season just because I was on 2 seasons back to back. And I've also just been working on myself a lot, honestly, trying to get to a place where I would like to compete again. Maybe in a place where I'm not so emotional. You know, I was going through a lot with my mom, being really ill during filming season 10. Sadly lost her this last year. You know, so it's just been quite the journey. I think that if I'm ever able to do All Stars though, it will be quite a different Eureka people will get to see.
We'd love to see you in All Stars 5.
Would you do us the honours of playing a silly game with us? Now, we like to call it Fuck, Marry, or Push Off a Cliff. Because that way they've got a chance of like, you know, living, like a chance to survive, don't you? Because if you go off a cliff, you can swim to safety.
How can you swim to safety after you fall off a cliff?
Because you land in the water, don't you? And just swim off the rocks.
Not always. Now, you can choose anybody who was in season 9 and season 10.
But there's a catch. You've got to explain why you pushed them off the cliff.
Ooh. Ooh. Cameron Michaels had any leftovers. That's obviously who I would fuck. Y'all already know that. And then I think for Mary, I would probably want to marry Asia O'Hara, I think she's super organized.
I now pronounce you drag and wife.
I think if I was gonna kill anybody, it would probably be... what the hell, myself. I'm morbid.
No! Eureka, don't jump off the cliff. We need some Eureka in the world. We'll push that Bailey Bubbles bitch off the cliff.
That's a good idea.
Fucker called me a beast.
I wish you would push Linda off the cliff. So what the fuck are you gonna do after the lockdown? What are you up to in the near future?
We don't see a real future.
You should never do this show when you're under the influence of alcohol.
Eureka, so what are you up to in the future?
I'm honestly just like prepped and excited for the next chapters. I've been doing a lot of work. Like I did a play in Hollywood, which was really amazing, a great experience. I want to do more of that. My ideal is to get into more acting and TV work and film work. That's really where my heart thrives. But I hope that I get to tour with you all soon.
Can you believe we're touring with Eureka?
It's just a dream.
Eureka O'Hara, it was amazing having you on the show. Thanks for joining us here on EuroDrag TV.
And I love you and thank you so much for having me, EuroDrag TV. You all are literally the best.
Linda, this show is getting so much better. How are you coming up with all these guests?
Blackmail, dear. Blackmail. Join us on next week's show when we'll be joined by some even more amazing guests.
Our set has been voted by BuzzFeed as the top 40 queen to be followed on social media. It's Jaxie.
Yeah, and we'll be joined by possibly the most successful Eurovision group in Sweden since ABBA. It's the Mamas.
From RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, it's Alexis Michelle.
Love me, say that you love me. Fool me, go on and fool me. Love me, pretend that you love me. Lead me, just say that you need me.
All that's to come on next week's EuroDrag TV when I will be going for gold and we'll be joined by our 16 queens who will be back to compete in Europe's shadiest.
You are a cunt, 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 cunt. But if that stinking cunt said it ain't true, but he'll tell you you're motherfucking
Cliff, because you know.
Stop it. What? Stop it. It's recording.